Hey there boys and girls, like Gunfight here and welcome back to another CSGO video. Today with part 5 of our tutorial series for beginners in CSGO. This time with the big aiming chapter and how to win the gunfights. So the reason why I started this series, just to really quickly give you guys a summary, mostly it's just people telling you, well, go here and aim for the head and shoot, and it looks like something like this because you don't really know how to do those things. So I thought I might do a guide on how to actually do that stuff and actually tell you how to do it and not just what to do. So 2 episodes that we had so far are really important for this one. The first one is about movement, so the stutter stepping that you have to learn, strafe jumping and crouch jumping, and the second one about crosshair placement, so where to look and where to aim and stuff like that. So please watch those 2 videos first and then come back here and then we'll talk about the big aiming. But if you've already watched them, welcome to the big aiming chapter. So first of all, I want to tell you guys how to shoot, basically. Some tutorials will tell you like how to control your spray to the very last bullet. Like, I can't really do it, but it's probably like a close pattern, and that's not a necessary skill, not at all. The only time you will need that is when like 5 people are rushing you and you have no other chance and you still want to be somewhat accurate. But let's get to it. So, we will use the AK because the AK has the highest amount of the recoils of all the assault rifles. So that's what we have to go to, because if you can do the AK, you can do all the other guns as well. If you watch closely, when I'm just spraying here, you see the crosshair goes up and then it stays in the middle of our spray. We get this sort of T shape almost. It's going up and up and up and up, to the right, to the left, to right and left again. The thing is now, you can see that the first 5 bullets will move with the crosshair. So the crosshair goes up with them. However, the next like 5 or all the other bullets, the crosshair will stay approximately at this height and all the other bullets will be above there. So just to make like a little line, that's the height the crosshair will always stay on. So the first 5 bullets you have to be able to control, because the recoil there is really easy to manage, since you have to only keep your crosshair at the enemy. So if we put a like, come here my friend. You only have to place your crosshair on top of him and you're basically good to go, because you just want to hold it right there. See, if I move through him, the bullets were also on his body. So that's the way you want to do. If you want to, and that's also basically bursting. If you want to do to control your spray, you should never basically train more than 10 bullets at a time. Because the 10 first bullets, they go up. Something like this, for example. You shouldn't really train more than that, because by the time you fire that many bullets, like half the magazine, your enemy probably killed you already if he just goes like 1 tap and you're dead. Especially he has an AK as well and he just shoots you in the head. There's no way you're going to win that gunfight, which is basically how my first tip comes in. The best thing you do is basically a 5 bullet burst. With the 5 bullets, you usually have enough to kill them, even if you miss the head. Or you just get a, like, instead of a headshot, just a shoulder shot or something like that. So you're still able to kill them. And you can easily control them by just keeping your crosshair on the target. You don't have to, like, drag down enormous amounts to the feet, so you have to compensate for recoil. You just have to keep it at the same, like, basically at where you're aiming at. So those 5 bullet bursts, they're really, as you can see, really good, and they give you a really tight pattern in order to stay accurate. So if you want to get better at aiming, do the burst. Do it like that. And if you really have to train like those 10 bullets, don't do more than them, because as I said, you probably will be dead anyways by that time. Which will bring me to the next point, which is readjusting your spray. If you see, let's get another mate right here, and you just like saw him and you want to shoot at him. And there he is, and you miss him initially and fire next to him. And you do something like this, and all the bullets miss. You always should reposition yourself, so that's also another thing. Stay close to cover, and if you see that your initial burst of spray is missing, the 2, or like the first 2, first 4, first 5 bullets, then just readjust. Don't try to drag your spray onto him, just readjust it, and you're good to go. That's the way you want to do it. Also, another quick tip for tap firing or tap shooting, you always want to do that only if there's like a head glitch position, like there where you want to hit the enemy, because you're not profiting from hitting any body parts, because you have to shoot through a box, which is mostly not penetratable besides the corners. So you only want to do this at extreme long ranges with mostly head glitch situations. That's the only time you want to tap fire. So you really only want to burst. Those 5 bullet bursts is what you're looking at. Those will give you those type patterns right there, or right there, or right there, which are approximately the size of the head of the enemy, and you want to keep it there, because you always want to go for the headshot. Those are dealing the most damage, and especially with the AK, with a one headshot, you will instantly drop them, which is super important, yeah, just important to win the gunfight. So the next thing that I want to go over is basically jiggle peeking, or just peeking in general. Most people will do something like, they know just like put another bot friend right here, or a couple of them, so in case we're fucking it up. Yeah, that's good. I mean, they're really friendly this time, they're even tease. So you're basically peeking like him, like right there. And that's a good thing to do it like that. However, if you keep just doing or using the same cover, he will probably expect it and will just be like, from his position, okay, he's keep coming back, so he will just like tap fire that spot and will try to make you move into his shots. So it's really important to alternate cover, like this. Maybe go behind the box right there and do like that, so that you're never really expected and you don't want to run into the pre-fire. However, at the same time, you want to do the pre-firing as well, and maybe if you see he's not coming there, then hide your position right there and start spraying right there. It's kind of a mind game that both people have to play, and it's kind of hard to win at it if you're not being prepared for the other guy to move to other positions. Next up, another good thing about jiggle peeking. So, for example, if you're holding long as a CT and you're just doing this, first of all, you should try to keep a little bit more distance between, because you want to be able to peek them effectively, which is a lot more easier when you got a lot more distance, at different ranges. Also, you will concentrate and focus a lot better if you're not staring. There have been several measurements and tests, and they will actually show you that if you keep staring at a point, your reaction time, even if it stays the same, it will not be quite as quick for you to react to, because when you're jiggle peeking like that, first of all, you're not overly exposing yourself all the time. You're just exposing yourself for a quick moment, and you get the intel, and then you can fire. That's the thing. If you just stand here, you will have to deal with the peeker's advantage of the other guy who's peeking you, as well as your delayed reaction time and just staring at the same spot. So jiggle peeking actually will keep your brain mentally, like, hydrated is the wrong word, but like excited for the game. So next thing, stutter stepping. I already covered this in the first episode, but I just want to go over another thing really quickly about it. If you want to, as a T, come up cat right here or short, and you want to shoot someone who's there. The thing that many people do wrong is that, I mean, you can do it, but it's super hard to do actually, is that when you're stutter stepping, I'm pressing A right now to walk to the left and D to the right. I do A, D, and fire. Then I'm accurate. Many people will also use W at the same time to kind of walk diagonally, and when you're only pressing D, then you're still moving forward, so it will look kind of like this. And you see the first bullet went there, the other went there. It's kind of, you're not completely accurate, so you have to position yourself in a way that you know you have to fire right there, but you want to just move to the left and the right. You don't want to have to move back and forth and like counter that movement as well. You just want to go like that and shoot at the enemy guy right there. So it's really a little bit about only doing it sideways. And you have to really force yourself to do that, because I've often noticed, like, even when my stutter stepping sideways was completely accurate, I sometimes forgot to position myself in a way that I only had to move sideways, and in reality I actually pressed W or S, so my spray game went like, whee! And of course, up there are no enemies at all. So, next thing, don't crouch too early. If you crouch, you're basically giving up all your momentum, and you're kind of a sitting duck. Crouching can be important, and also is important to do, but you should basically always do your first 5 initial bullets. You want to do your burst, and if you want to commit to a spray, because you saw there's already a bullet, you got like 3 or 4 bullets already in them, then you can like start crouching. This basically, after those 5 bullets, when the spray will go up, you want to drag down and crouch at the same time. So it's basically like, This was a little bit too much, a little too early. That's why bullets land back there, or down there, better said. So you want to do something like this. So this is another thing to throw off your enemy's aim. And you'll still get somewhat of a tight pattern out of it, especially if you only have to hit one more bullet. Again, if you didn't hit like any on the initial bullets, go back, readjust your spray, reposition yourself, and don't try to drag your spray onto him. That's not quite as effective as readjusting your position and redoing the spray. It will just be a lot more accurate like this. So the thing is, don't crouch too early. You first gotta do it after those 5 bullets, and like, I mean, if you're crouch peeking, this can be useful as well. Like if you want to do something like this, but you saw, like, for me personally, it fucks up my stutter stepping a little bit. So I tried to not do that all that much, because I feel like I'm getting more inaccurate. And again, if you're crouched, you have to go back up and then move. And if you're just doing like something like this, it's a lot better, because the stutter stepping makes you faster, more mobile, and harder to hit. So again, only crouch basically when you want to commit to your spray after your initial burst happened and you hit a couple of bullets. So you're actually going to kill the enemy. It's basically like a two-step thing. It's always the 5 burst, and then you have to decide, did I hit anything? If yes, I go crouch and try to keep spraying at him, so I'll kill him off. Did I not hit anything? Then I will just go back to cover and try to re-peek him and redo my spraying or my bursting. Last but not least, really quickly again about crosshair placement. I already talked about it right here. You have to kind of guess or expect enemies at certain positions. So if you're coming up as T and you want to take control over catwalk right here, usually there's some guy right here near the corner, or someone up, like, you know the spots. Someone can be like here or back there, or maybe even up there, depending on like what's going on. And you have to kind of take that into consideration when you're going around the corner and when you want to kill them. So last but not least, the last tip I can give you is, of course, you always, with the crosshair placement, want to start at head height. And then you want to, while your initial 5 bullet burst, keep it at head height, and then you want to drag it down together with your crouch in order to hit like the central area, like the arms, the torso, like the bottom right here, and his ass right there, whatever. Here's diarrhea, bloody diarrhea. So this is basically how you want to go over it. It's basic. Just imagine like there would be a straight line above his head where you want to spray on his head, and after that it's going down, like just like with an arrow, and you're going like that, just like, I had to reload right there, just like a little like this, to give you a general idea of how you should play. And yeah, this was my aiming chapter tip. I hope it was helpful for you guys. If you have still a couple of more questions, just leave them in the comment section down below. I will try to answer them as well, as good as I can. And if necessary, I will do another video to go over stuff that I didn't cover or that you guys want to hear specifically. But yeah, please, if you did enjoy the series, or because there's one more episode coming, which will be talking about game sense and how to improve it, leave a like, maybe share it with friends so your teammates aren't retarded anymore, and I think it's pretty much all for now, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's go fuck her out.